The greedy Trade Federation is invading the peaceful planet of Naboo. Battleships carrying thousands of droids and war machines are headed to the capital city of Theed, determined to overthrow Queen Amidala. Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi have been sent as peacekeepers by the Galactic Republic. Their Republic cruiser lands in the Trade Federation's immense droid control ship. Unknown to the Jedi, Newt Gunray, the Nemoidian leader of the Trade Federation, is taking his orders from a fearsome Sith Lord, Darth Sidious. He orders them to eliminate the Jedi. Poisonous gas is pumped into their room, but Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan hold their breath. Igniting their lightsabers, they cut down the droids in their path. But droidicas with shields force a standoff, so the Jedi sneak down to the planet to warn the Naboo of the coming invasion. The greedy Trade Federation is invading the peaceful planet of Naboo. Battleships carrying thousands of droids and war machines are headed to the capital city of Theed, determined to overthrow Queen Amidala. Unknown to the Jedi, Trade Federation tanks are causing the creatures and beasts of Naboo to stampede. A clumsy Gungan named Jar Jar Binks is about to be run over when Qui-Gon rescues him. To show his gratitude, Jar Jar guides the Jedi to the secret Gungan city of Oda Gunga. They dive into a deep lake and swim down toward the underwater kingdom. Boss Nass, leader of the Gungans, is unconcerned about the threat of invasion. He is not fond of the Naboo who live on the surface, and he's not pleased to see Jar Jar, who had been banished from Oda Gunga because of his clumsiness. Qui-Gon still needs to warn the Naboo, so he uses a Jedi mind trick on Boss Nass, who consents to loan them a Bongo submarine with Jar Jar as a guide. To get to Theed, the Jedi and Jar Jar have to pass through the planet's core, which is filled with huge, hungry fish. They're almost swallowed by a giant Opie sea killer, but an even bigger monster catches the Opie in its powerful jaws. Finally, their submarine surfaces in Theed, but Queen Amidala has already been captured by battle droids. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan surprise the battle droids, cutting them down and freeing Queen Amidala and her handmaidens. The Jedi persuade the Queen to let them take her to safety on the planet Coruscant, capital of the Galactic Republic. But as they blast off in the Queen's royal starship, Trade Federation battleships open fire. The Queen's ship is damaged, but a brave astromech droid, R2-D2, makes emergency repairs, allowing them to escape into deep space. The ship's hyperdrive is too badly damaged to reach Coruscant, so the Jedi land on a remote planet called Tatooine. This desert planet is a lawless place, home to gamblers, gangsters, and slavers. Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, R2-D2, and one of the Queen's handmaidens, Padme Naberrie, trek through the harsh desert to the city of Mos Espa, hoping to find parts for their ship. There, they come upon a junk shop that looks promising. While Qui-Gon negotiates with Watto, the Toydarian shop owner, Padme meets young Anakin Skywalker. She is surprised to learn that Anakin is a slave, the property of Watto. Qui-Gon tries to purchase a hyperdrive generator at the shop, but Watto refuses Republic credits. He is immune to Jedi mind tricks, so Qui-Gon needs another way to bargain for the hyperdrive. A desert storm forces Qui-Gon, Padme, and R2 to take shelter in Anakin's home. Safely inside, he introduces his new friends to his mother, Shmi. And he even shows Padme a droid he built from scraps and named C-3PO. Anakin also tells Qui-Gon about the podracer he'd built. Podracer pilots drive their vehicles at incredible speeds. Anakin thinks that if he can win the next race, Qui-Gon can use the prize money for the hyperdrive generator. Shmi thinks the pod race is dangerous, but Qui-Gon senses that the Force is strong in Anakin. The Jedi places a bet with Watto. If Anakin wins the race, he'll also win his freedom. The next day is the Bunta Eve pod race. Anakin speeds through canyons and over salt flats. He nearly loses to Sebulba the Dug, who uses dirty tricks and almost causes Anakin to crash. But it's Sebulba who ends up crashing. Anakin races across the finish line, winning the prize money and his freedom. Qui-Gon promises Shmi that he'll watch over Anakin and take him to Coruscant, where he will be trained to become a Jedi Knight. What Qui-Gon doesn't know is that the Sith Lord Darth Sidious has sent his apprentice, Darth Maul, to hunt them down. As Qui-Gon and Anakin return to the ship, Darth Maul attacks. Qui-Gon begins a ferocious duel with the evil Sith, while Anakin scrambles aboard to alert Obi-Wan and Padme. Flying low, they swoop down and Qui-Gon is able to jump to safety. With the ship's hyperdrive repaired, the Jedi bring Queen Amidala to Coruscant, where she hopes to get help and save her planet. On Coruscant, Qui-Gon tells the Jedi Council about his duel with Darth Maul, a Sith Lord. Qui-Gon believes that Anakin will fulfill an ancient prophecy to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force. He wants to train Anakin as a Jedi, but the Council disapproves. They think Anakin is too old for Jedi training. Still, they test his powers and see how strong the Force is within him. They can also see the depth of his fear and anger.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
Hard to see the dark side is.
The identity of your attacker.
Queen Amidala and Senator Palpatine of Naboo speak in the Galactic Senate. The Republic's leader, Chancellor Valorum, is unable to do anything about the invasion. In retaliation, Palpatine urges Amidala to call a vote of no confidence in the government. While Palpatine continues to fight for Naboo in the Senate, the Queen returns to Naboo with the Jedi. During a meeting with Boss Nass, Padme reveals that she's been the Queen in disguise all along. She persuades Boss Nass that the Naboo and the Gungans have to unite against the greedy Trade Federation. In the Battle of Naboo, the Gungans fight bravely against thousands of battle droids and tanks. Jar Jar is clumsy as usual, but his clumsiness often results in the destruction of many hapless enemies. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Padme lead the Naboo pilots to their starfighters in a hangar at Theed Palace. After the Jedi slay more droids, the pilots blast into space to attack the droid control ship. But Darth Sidious had already sent Darth Maul to Naboo to crush Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. As they engage in furious combat, Maul lures them into Theed's power generator complex. Back in the hangar at Theed Palace, Anakin and R2-D2 hide in a Naboo starfighter. They blast battle droids to provide cover for Padme and her troops. By accident, Anakin activates the autopilot, which launches the craft out of the hangar and into space. Luckily, Anakin masters the starfighter and joins the assault on the droid control ship. Back in the palace, Newt Gunray has surrounded Padme, Captain Panaka, and their friends. But the wily queen outwits the greedy viceroy by using a hidden blaster in the throne room of Theed Palace. After destroying the remaining droids, she and her friends capture the Trade Federation leader. Because the droid control ship remains operational, the battle droids continue to defeat the struggling Gungans. With Obi-Wan trapped behind a laser wall, Darth Maul mortally wounds Qui-Gon with his lightsaber. Qui-Gon collapses in great pain. When the laser wall is deactivated, a furious Obi-Wan goes after Darth Maul. But the Sith Lord knocks the Jedi into the power generator pit and kicks the Jedi's lightsaber in after him. Obi-Wan manages to cling to the side of the wall, while Darth Maul taunts him. Suddenly, Obi-Wan uses the Force to leap back into action and summon Qui-Gon's lightsaber into his hand. He strikes a devastating blow, which makes the Sith warrior fall into the pit, disappearing from sight. Obi-Wan then races to his dying master's side. As his last wish, Qui-Gon makes Obi-Wan promise to take Anakin as his new apprentice. Meanwhile, the space battle rages. Anakin flies his starfighter straight into the droid control ship. He skids to a stop deep inside the ship, where he's quickly surrounded by droidicus and battle droids. He fires 2 torpedoes, and they cause a massive chain reaction. As Anakin speeds away from the exploding control ship, all the droids on Naboo collapse. Anakin, the Jedi, and the people of Naboo are now victorious against the Trade Federation and the Sith. At his funeral, Qui-Gon Jinn's many friends and fellow Jedi mourn his loss. Yet they take comfort in knowing that he has become one with the Force. With the consent of the Jedi Council, Yoda makes Obi-Wan a Jedi Knight and honors his master's last request to let him take Anakin as his apprentice. The Council does not know if Anakin will fulfill the prophecy and bring balance to the Force, but they know the Sith will strike again.